listening to The Brett Davern Show, live daily on Adobe Radio.
To dance the margarita, one needs... Wait, hold on. To dance the margarita, one needs a bit of tequila, a bit of salt, some ice, some lime.
Are you thirsty?
A Heather and a Brian.
Whoa.
To dance the margarita.
What are you doing?
Those are the English lyrics to La Bamba, but I'm changing it to margarita because of last night. Oh, Heather and Brian. Thanks for the headache.
It's the Brett Davern Show. Brought to you by Nice Guy Digital on Adobe Radio and recorded live in beautiful North Hollywood, California.
I need some water.
On today's episode, Brett's got a hangover.
You call it the Irish flu.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's derogatory nowadays. I don't know.
Well, the Irish goodbye. We're going to talk about hotels. Now let's get to the guy who's graduated high school 3 times. Your new best friend. Brett Davern!
Listen up, everybody. This is our show. Thank you for telling your friends and family about our silly program and for engaging with us on the social media. You know, if you want to shout out a friend, shout at us, shout with us, you can call the show toll free, 1-888-99-IDOBE. I'm going to stop saying that soon.
It makes me laugh every time.
I'm going to stop saying it. No one ever does it. The email for the show is bdsfans@idobe.com, or if you want to join the conversation, you can text us. Just put that address, bdsfans@idobe.com, into your texting, where you usually enter a phone number, compose your text, and press send, and it ends up on this iPad in front of me. Once again, that address is bdsfans@idobi.com. If you're listening live this morning, prove it by sending in what I'm now calling the Jonas Brothers emoji. Apparently, there's an emoji of 3 dudes, or boys, or men, or whatever the Jonas Brothers are. Send that emoji in.
I think they're brothers.
I think Paul was adopted.
Yeah. He is sort of the stepchild.
Before the show gets going today, I'd like to thank Heather and Brian for the headache, but also the good times. It was well worth it. Oh, we had so many margaritas last night.
It was the last one that did you in.
Oh, Katie. We should have just drove to the studio after dinner last night and just crashed on the couch. I love those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good folks.
That was fun. All right, lots of show to get to today, but before we get to all of it, hello, soon to be named Megan.
Hello, Brett.
And Matadocious.
Hi, Brett.
And Hangover McGee.
It's National Tell a Lie Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. There's so many running around in my head, I can't pick one. National Tell a Lie Day.
Yeah.
Oh. We'll be right back with Tom Cruise after you guys listen to The Spirit of Radio by Rush.
I love Tom.
Thank you for watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast version of The Brett Davern Show. If you were listening live on Adobe Radio, you'd be hearing real music right now, instead of this message and whatever song this is. Sometimes the rules just won't let us play real music on YouTube or the podcast. It's not a big deal. Just putting it out there. Back with more show in a second.
You're listening to The Brett Davern Show, featuring Katie LeClaire on IW Radio.
It's the best thing Katie's seen so far today.
How Seagulls, Pepperoni, there's a comma, got Dartmouth man banned from posh British Columbia hotel.
And that's the best thing Katie's seen so far today. So I mean seagulls and pepperoni?
Yeah.
How seagulls and pepperoni got a posh Dartmouth man.
No, got a man banned from a posh hotel.
Okay.
I'm so excited about this news story. It's the greatest thing I've seen in a long time.
All right.
17 years ago.
We maybe should start running these past each other before we do this live
No,
on the
this
air.
is great.
All right, go ahead.
17 years ago, the Fairmont Express in Victoria,
British Columbia,
had a guest who had...
Katie, take a deep breath. Hold on. Take a deep breath. You didn't do it. Take a deep breath. There you go. What happened?
This man had a suitcase full of pepperoni.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why you have a suitcase full of pepperoni.
Maybe he's a pepperoni salesman.
Maybe. He was there for a business trip.
See?
So the guy's got a full suitcase, and then he goes for a walk after leaving the suitcase near an open window.
Uh-huh.
He returns to his hotel room, and there's 30 or 40 seagulls flying around the room, and they've all got pepperoni, and so he opens the door, and obviously they get scared, so a bunch of them fly out. But the
Oh my God, Katie. What?
I love it so much. The quote in the article
this better
says,
be good.
The quote in the article says, I never would have thought that. It says, they flew through the window while I was gone, and I never would have thought that because the East Coast seagulls aren't that brazen. They'd never come into a room or do that sort of thing. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, silly.
And then, so he has to, like, shoo them out of the room.
Yeah.
And so he literally takes his shoe off and starts throwing his shoe at the
Oh, yeah.
seagulls.
What else are you going to do?
And using a towel to, like, fan them out the window.
Uh-huh.
But they wouldn't go. And then he missed his aim, and then his shoe falls out the window. It goes through the window, so he has to go downstairs and get a shoe, which is now covered in mud. And then he takes the shoe and he goes back up to his room, and he's drying his shoe off with a hairdryer. And then the power goes out because they chewed through the power lines as well. So he got banned.
That was 17 years ago?
And then this week he had to go back to the area, so he wanted to lift his ban.
Oh.
And the hotel allowed him to return.
I like the getting banned for life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, almost life. 17 years is a long time
It's
to
a
be
long
banned.
time.
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
All right.
So much. I found this article like a day or two ago, but we had busy shows, so I was like giddy with excitement for days to
All
share
right.
this story with you.
Okay,
guys.
well, I'm glad you did.
Can you just imagine going through the door and there's 40 seagulls in your hotel room?
Someone just texted in, Katie's being a weirdo today.
We should have had people send the seagull emoji. There is one.
Oh my God, what are you on right now? What was in those margaritas?
I don't know. I'm crying.
Oh my goodness.
I just think it's so great. Who brings a pepperoni suitcase?
A pepperoni salesman, I already told you.
Why?
How do you think pepperoni gets to the store, Katie? Like, how do you think pepperoni gets on your pizza? Some pepperoni guy's got to come sell it to Domino's in the first place.
I mean, I really don't think that could possibly be the case.
Maybe he just really enjoys pepperoni.
I think it's that. And the seagulls aren't that brazen on the East Coast.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole story that you read. Like, I love when, like, people make the dumbest argument ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seagull. Yeah. Seagull's a seagull, right? It's
I mean, I thought so.
Wants to eat. I've seen Planet Earth. That's all animals do. Eat, mate, and poop. That's all they do.
And sleep.
Yeah. I like the idea, though, that the East Coast seagulls are more chill.
They're way more polite.
Also, stereotypically, the West Coast seagulls should be more chill.
Right, and it's Canada, so they should all be chill.
The East Coast seagulls should be more like, hey, I'm walking here.
There's a Instagram account that I really like, an artist, Nathan Pyle, and he does pigeon stories every day. He'll, like, you know how on Instagram stories you can attach, like, a cat, not
Did
a
you
caption.
call him an Instagram artist?
No, he's an artist, and I follow his Instagram. That's what I meant to say. I don't know what I said.
I thought you said, I follow an Instagram artist, and I was like, are we calling them that now? Is that a thing?
I follow an artist on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
He's great. He's a I don't know, illustrator. Anyway, but he also
Yeah, tap your fingers on the microphone. It's good radio. She's like, let me think for a second.
Anyway, so he just films pigeons on the street in New York, and then he attaches like words, but you can make them follow the thing as it moves.
Well,
so
yeah.
he just creates these conversations with pigeons.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's dumb, and I love
Does
it.
he do the voiceover for the pigeon?
No, it's just words,
Text.
text, and sometimes they'll have like a suitcase because the pigeon's going off to work.
Yeah, you can pin little emojis to Instagram videos now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. They're very funny.
I'm still sort of old school with Instagram. I just look at the timeline. I always forget to watch stories.
Yeah.
Even though I post to the stories sometimes, I just still forget to watch other people's stories.
You had a busy story yesterday.
Yeah, I did, and then we forgot to end it.
Yeah.
I get lazy with the stories. I do the beginning, the middle, and then sometimes I forget to end it.
Yeah.
We should have ended it around flaming margaritas last night.
We should have.
Oh, we had the craziest business dinner.
Yeah, we talked business.
Yeah. It's more like, I don't know. Those are my favorite kinds of dinners. You're just hanging out. Just whatever. Friends.
Something will come from it.
Something definitely came from it. I have a headache.
Yeah.
What?
That's what she said.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with everybody today?
You got a lot of girls in the studio.
What
You gotta
is
deal with
happening?
Are you going to announce the song?
No. I don't know. Should I? What's the point? Whoa. This is Panic Switch by Silver Sun Pickups.
Thank you for watching on YouTube or for listening to the podcast version of our show. We love you. If you were listening live on Adobe Radio, you'd be hearing real music right now instead of this message. Sometimes rules don't allow us to play that kind of stuff on YouTube or on the podcast. Just putting it out there. Back with more show in a few seconds.
Keep up with all things Brett Davern Show on Twitter. At Brett Davern Show, IW Radio.
Let me remind you that the Brett Davern Show is brought to you by Cake Bams. What are Cake Bams?
Delicious.
Well, allow me to educate you. Cake Bams are the world's first delicious rice cake brand. Cake Bams are organic brown rice cakes deliciously disguised in yummy flavors like vegan dark chocolate and sea salt or strawberry birthday cake. Let me go off copy for a second. I know that when you guys start hearing me talk about rice cakes, your eyes glaze over, possibly roll back in your head, and you want to go back to sleep. But listen to me. When I say disguised in yummy flavors like vegan dark chocolate and sea salt or strawberry birthday cake, I shouldn't really be saying disguised. I should be saying slathered in delicious flavors. Like these rice cakes have like frosting on top of them.
Healthy frosting.
Yeah. Frosting that's delicious but good for you. It's none of this like powdered flavoring that you get on the Quaker rice cakes. Isn't it Quaker that does rice cakes? Yeah. It's not like that powdery, salty, weird MSG stuff that they throw all over theirs. No. This is has a layer of frosting on it. And then like little bits of crunchy deliciousness things, that is the rice cake, and also other toppings and stuff. Oh, I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, all the flavors are naturally gluten-free, and Brett Davern Show listeners get 10% off of their entire order and free shipping every time when you use the promo code BDS, as in Brett Davern Show, at checkout. So go to cakebams.com. That's cakebams.com. CAKEBAMS.com. What do you want to talk about, Katie? Hotels?
Sure, yeah. You got any good... what's like...
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep.
That's good.
You're welcome.
Did you ever stay in a interesting hotel?
Of course. I stayed in some terrible hotels.
Yeah.
Motels. Motels usually not as good, right?
I think that's a stereotype, yeah, but I don't know if that has to be true.
Motel, I think, just means that you pull up out front in the parking lot and that there's like outside entrances, like motor in, like motel.
Huh.
It's like a roadside hotel is a motel, I think. I think that's how it works. I'm not really too sure, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the difference.
But I stayed in a terrible motel in Rosarito, Mexico one time.
What happened?
I had some buddies of mine when I first moved to LA. They were like, hey, let's drive on down to Tijuana and Rosarito. And I was like, sounds like a good time. And so we went down there, and we also like shot a little short film that you can find on the internet somewhere.
What's the short called?
Uno Mas.
Oh.
And it was actually a lot of fun. We had a blast. But they were like, we always go down there and we just like stay at this motel. And it's that thing that you do when you're, young and 23 and stupid and have no money and you're just out for a good time, And so you're just like, yeah, sure, let's stay in this place. And the door that led to the outside world, the door to the motel room, was a like hollow core like bathroom door that you'd find in any apartment building.
Oh.
And then it just had the doorknob and then the push button lock. Like
Oh my
like a
gosh.
bathroom. So it was like a bathroom door on the outside of
Real secure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super secure. And we're down there with all this like film equipment and stuff. And just we were clearly tourists, you know what I mean? Like, and just people like looking at us everywhere we went, like, what are these guys doing,
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty sketchy. And the hotel room in general, just not the greatest. I mean, cheap motel. And I remember, I think we were down there for like 2 nights. And I remember sleeping both nights on the bed, on top of all of the covers, in my hoodie, on my back with the hood up. And
Because you didn't want to touch the sheets?
I just was like, ugh. Yeah, it was one of those places. Just not good.
You ever stay in a hostel?
Matted down carpet. What's that?
Have you ever stayed in a hostel?
No, because I don't want to get murdered.
Oh, stop.
Oh, do not stay in a hostel. That's the most dangerous thing you can ever do. Are you kidding? You're going
I've
to
never
be
done it.
rooming with some
I think it depends on where you are.
guy named Sven from,
No, we were driving around Mammoth for the Mammoth Film Festival, and I saw a hostel there. You could stay at a hostel in Mammoth.
Oh, I wouldn't do that either.
Really?
Nothing but stoner snowboarders trying to steal
Real
your
dangerous.
Doritos. Well, yeah, I'm saying. Hey, lay off my Doritos, bro.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty crappy motel. And then, what else?
Do you leave a tip for the maid? When I was growing up, sometimes my dad would like leave a tip.
Well, now that I'm balling, of course.
Yeah.
But
You're
when I
really
was
rich.
young and poor, no.
But you do, like, you regularly leave tips for the cleaning people?
Oh, absolutely.
How much do you leave?
$100 bill.
Oh, stop it. Are you being serious? How
I
much do
throw
you
a
leave?
Benjamin under the pillow. Yeah. Every day, because I'm balling.
I used to be a housekeeper.
Hold on.
And no one ever left me any tips. So
At a hotel?
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
In Nacogdoches?
In Nacogdoches.
You want to give a shout out to the place?
Hotel Fredonia, which is So Nacogdoches is the oldest town in Texas, fun fact.
Uh-huh.
And this hotel had been shut down once before, and then the community came together to restart it because it's like the coolest thing in Nac. I was working
just
there.
called it Knack.
I know, I caught it.
Okay.
I was working there, and like in the middle of me working,
Would have been better if she called it the Knack.
it's Nasty Nac.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. In the middle of me working there, at this point, I had been upgraded to front desk agent.
Yeah.
But the hotel shut down because we went bankrupt. But it has since been reopened again because we can't let it die.
Nasty
Yeah.
Knack's got
In
a...
Nasty Nac, it's
Yeah.
the coolest thing
In
we
the
have.
Nasty Nac.
There's actually a bar in there.
Whoa.
So,
Whoa.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Got a
Wow.
liquor license
Yep.
and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, yeah, but I was a housekeeper there.
And
no
no,
one ever
no
tipped?
tips?
No one ever tipped.
What's the grossest thing you've seen as a housekeeper at a hotel?
Oh, no, I don't want to know. Oh,
Okay.
no.
So one time a football team was staying there.
Uh-huh.
And
Like high school football or like
college football.
Uh-huh.
They were playing SFA. And
Stephen F. Austin, home of the Lumberjacks.
yeah, and Joel was actually a bellboy there with me. And so he had, but they were like, Joel, go help her clean because there's so many people that just checked out because it's a whole freaking football team. And they just were not clean at all. It was just the abundance of
Sweaty
gross
smells.
and like food and
Yeah.
alcohol that I don't think they were supposed to have. So it was kind of hidden.
Okay.
But, and so I actually have a funny story though. So I was telling my grandma.
Hey.
No, this is.
We'll be the judge of whether it's funny or not, okay? Just tell the story.
So it's like my wedding weekend, and we're all.
Hold on, I'm interrupting you again. People do that all the time. I do it all the time, right? I'll go like, oh man, this is interesting, and then launch into something. It's like, quit telling people it's interesting before I. That's something I'm trying to work on in my life. And I'm just making a public service announcement out there. Whoever you're telling the story to will judge whether it's funny or not, all right? Just tell me the story. Go ahead.
Anyways, I was.
It's just something I've been noticing in life lately. Anyway, go ahead.
It was my wedding weekend, and I'm telling that story.
That
I just
is
told
funny.
you. I'm telling it to my grandma and the lady that owned the venue, and we are talking, and my grandma was like, "Oh, I used to be a housekeeper," and I was like, "Okay," and she goes, "I had to find out what a dildo was because my sister was working with me, and she comes up to me and was like, I found a pillowcase of dildos in the hotel room. A whole pillowcase of dildos. And my grandma was like, what's a dildo? And so then she wants to explain to me what a dildo is. I took off. I was like, you know what? I have things to do. I'll see you later. This is like my 65-year-old, I don't know how old she is, 7-year-old grandma. Tell me about a bag of dildos. And
Maybe the person staying there was a salesperson.
And then she goes, she's like whispering, we also found used condoms.
Oh,
and
stop.
I was like,
Grandma. Maddie,
I
what
was
are
like,
you
Grandma.
doing? Maddie, it's a family show. What are you doing? 7:32
Yeah,
on
my
the West
family
Coast.
was telling me this story. So
Jeez. All right.
Thanks, Grandma.
Your microphones get muted again. Oh, my goodness.
Who needs a whole suitcase
No, pillowcase.
full of pepperoni?
Oh, yeah. Who needs a pillowcase or a suitcase full of either one of those things? I mean, you need more pepperoni than the others.
Well,
You only really need one of the other, right?
they're both kind of the same
How many do you
shape.
need? Well, before it's sliced, yeah. Oh, maybe you could just start bringing pepperoni.
Oh my God, we need to listen to music immediately and stop this
Except
conversation.
spicy, like I don't know if you
Brett
want
Davern.
that. What?
I'm gonna say
You're the one that brought it up.
I was trying to change the subject. This is Holding On by the War
Oh,
on
you
Drugs.
know that? That's my job. Actually, this song's amazing, and hold on, wait, give me a second. This song's amazing, and if you are on Spotify and you just want something to chill to, just type in "The War on Drugs," hit shuffle, let it go. These guys are amazing. This is "Holding On" by The War on Drugs.
Thank you for watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast version of The Brett Davern Show. If you were listening live on Adobe Radio, you'd be hearing real music right now, instead of this message and whatever song this is. Sometimes the rules just won't let us play real music on YouTube or the podcast. It's not a big deal. Just putting it out there. Back with more show in a second.
out. You can listen to The Brett Davern Show anytime. Just search for it on your favorite podcast app, but especially the Adobe app for iOS.
We should mention that today's show, we were supposed to have a guest. But as sometimes happens, if you've been listening to this show throughout the 101 episodes now, some rescheduling things and things get shuffled around at the last minute. We are going to still have that guest on. It's just that we had to reschedule her schedule got busy or whatever. And so we will have her on at some point. But that is why, if you are tuning in to hear that guest, that's why you're not hearing that guest. It is what it is. Why would you need a whole suitcase? Or, sorry, pillowcase? I'm still stuck on this.
Variety.
Hold on.
Variety.
Yeah? Why? Don't you just need one?
Listen, you might have had a party in your hotel room.
Yikes.
I don't know. I wasn't there. This was also had to have been in the 60s, 70s.
Well, that was my that was my next question.
That makes it even weirder.
No, that's what I'm saying though. I don't know
Maybe
what they
it's
were
one
doing
of those
then.
parties.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
For sure, that had to have been.
That's a thing that happens now.
Yeah.
What
There's
parties?
you know how Mary Kay is a thing that housewives
What?
sell,
This
or
is real.
Avon. Yeah, this is real.
Mary Kay for sex toys?
This was an episode
Yes.
of Awkward, by the way.
What?
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched the show.
Yeah.
The show I was on?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Mm-hmm. There was an episode of Awkward where they went to a sex toy party?
Definitely.
Oh, I do remember that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. The prop people were having fun with those episodes.
I bet.
All of a sudden, you'd find sex toys in all kinds of random places around the set. Can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't do that anymore.
Anyway, so I'm sure they had them in the 60s also.
And
right?
I'm sure they had to be more secretive about it, so they did it in hotel rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
It was
we
a
figured
it
it
was
out.
a
We
it was a
figured it out.
Tupperware party for sex toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But housewives can't be seen in their own houses with.
and hide them in the pillowcase, right?
Right.
Uh-huh.
They're probably sad they left him behind.
Man, we really
We've dissected
Law
this
and Order-
moment.
case.
Law and Order Criminal Intented that one, didn't we? Nailed it. Boy, oh boy. You guys are together. You're a regular Mariska Hargitay over there. Good job.
So we put a poll up that was
You-
what's more essential?
You put a poll up on Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter.
What did it say?
This is funny. It said, what's more essential? A pillowcase of dildos or a suitcase of pepperoni?
Maddie.
You're really just...
Maddie's really leaning into this.
I'm in a mood today.
Yeah, you are.
It's 50-50. Yeah.
Okay.
It is 50-50.
All right.
So
Oh my gosh.
we'll see what happens.
Was that at Brett Davern Show put that tweet
Yeah.
out? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Tony
gosh.
said that it probably looks weird out of context, but I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All right.
it's some good stuff.
All right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I've never left a tip at a hotel.
Apparently, at Maddie's grandma's hotel, someone left a lot of tips.
Hey!
Oh, hit the drum roll. Late on it.
Do it again.
Apparently, at Maddie's grandma's hotel, somebody left a whole pillowcase full of tips. There it is. Good job.
Ooh.
What? Oh, a phone call? Is it really? We're getting a phone call?
You yelled about it this morning.
We never get phone
We
calls.
live in the Matrix.
Do you want to take it? Well, now I'm nervous because no one ever calls, so...
It's my
maybe-
grandma.
Okay. Yeah? Hello? Hi, this is Brett in North Hollywood. Who's this? Steph B.
good
Green
morning, Steph.
in... Wait, I forget.
In L.A.
In where? I can't... It's a little... I don't think it's letting me do it.
can't
Steph, where are you calling in from? That's right. Steph in Pico Rivera. What's going on this morning? What do you want to... You want to add to something? You got a question? You got a comment? You have a thought on a pillowcase full of unmentionables? Oh. Uh-huh. You got a story about it? All right. Where were you?
Capistrano.
Oh, San Juan Capistrano.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nothing happened though.
Lots of birds there.
No stories. What happened? Oh, that's the worst. Well, that sucks.
But you made it back.
You didn't have to walk, did you? You got AAA? Yeah. Yeah. AAA and Uber, not sponsors of the show, but it's okay. I'll let you mention them anyway. That's fine. Everyone should have AAA. You got to have AAA.
Yeah.
You got a driver's license, get yourself some AAA. It's good. Yeah. That's a dad tip for you. Mm-hmm. I sound like a real dad. Steph, we love you. Thank you for listening to the show. Thanks for calling in. Oh. Don't worry. I'll yell at Katie after the show for that. Yeah, it's definitely Katie's fault for sure.
Probably. Most definitely.
Probably.
For sure. Oh, Parker.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I should start blaming everything on that little Cocker Spaniel. Is that what he is?
He's just too cute.
He's a Cocker Spaniel, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you laughed as if I got it wrong. Oh, all
That's
right.
not why I laughed.
All right, Steph, we got to go. We'll talk to you later. Love you.
Bye, Steph.
Bye. I thought she had a story about a hotel.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Worst hotel you've ever been in, Katie?
Yeah, I got one of those. I'm trying to think of the name of the city. I'm stalling. Texarkana. Not a great place to be. Arkansas, Texas border.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're kidding.
They've got a Waffle House.
Yeah.
And 2 hotels.
Mm-hmm.
I was with my cousin. It was the same thing. Matted down floors. The pillow, like everything in the room was damp.
Mm-hmm.
So try not to touch the sheets.
Yeah, it's
as
gross.
much as possible. Oh,
yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah, damp is not good.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I'm one of these people. I don't. Even if it's a crappy hotel, I don't like walk in and sterilize the place or like I don't care. It is what it is.
Oh.
I mean, other than that place, well, there's been like 2 times that I'm like, I'm sleeping on top of the covers, you know. But most of the time, I'm just like, whatever. I pick up the remote. I don't care. And you see these people that like walk in and like take all the baby wipes and like start wiping everything down and whatever, and I'm like,
It's probably fine.
yeah, let it go.
And you watch those 60-minute like specials about
but,
hotels, and you're like, I'm never gonna sleep in a hotel again.
Yeah, of course, but like everything's dirty, you know, like
Oh, it's
everything.
disgusting.
Like the desk in this studio's probably got junk all over
The
it that you don't
headphones?
want to know about. Oh my god, everybody at this who comes in here wears these headphones, and also my mouth is about an inch away from something that like so many people talk into on a daily basis, and I'm basically making out with everyone who's ever been to Adobe.
There's a poor germaphobe who's listening right now who's having the shakes because of this conversation.
I mean, my lips keep touching this little pop screen that's in front of the microphone, and so I'm basically tongue-kissing Fish and Scott Waldman and Aaron Pruner and Wee Sam and everybody who uses these microphones.
Yeah.
I have my tongue in their mouth right now.
So if anybody wants to make out with Brett, just come to Adobe Studios.
Yeah,
and
lick
find
all
pop
the
screens.
microphones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's what we've learned here today. Are we? Oh, we've already listened to that song. I looked up like to go to the next song, and I'm like, oh, we already did that. What, Maddie? You got something to say?
Have you ever stayed in a haunted hotel?
There's no such thing as a haunted hotel, Maddie. Ghosts don't exist.
I think soon-to-be-named Megan would disagree.
Wait, you got a ghost story soon to be named?
I went to Chicago for a Jonas Brothers concert.
Oh my gosh. I knew it would come back to the Jonas Brothers somehow.
It is the emoji of the day.
Yeah.
And I stayed in a haunted hotel.
But,
How was it haunted?
Yeah, but hold on. Was it actually haunted or like is it just like a...
It's the most haunted hotel in Chicago, if you look it up. And it was
Brett.
haunted.
Yeah, look it up, Brett. It's the most haunted hotel.
The Congress
In
Plaza
Chicago.
Hotel. Look it up.
Yeah, it's like so haunted.
Why is it haunted? What did you experience it? What happened?
The like faucet in my bathroom kept turning on in the middle of the night, and I would like go to the bathroom and turn off the faucet, and
Yeah,
it would like the
that
second I would get
super-
back to bed,
super scary faucet ghost.
it would turn back on.
Oh man, that's so.
It was very scary.
So
I
scary.
was supposed to be seeing the Jonas Brothers, and instead I was seeing ghosts.
Maybe that's what happened at your grandma's hotel too. Maybe it was the dildo ghost.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Packed a pillowcase full of them and left it there.
I like my theory better.
Wait, so the faucet just kept turning on? That's all that happened? It could just be faulty plumbing. You said it's an old place.
If you look it up, like one of the things is faulty plumbing. But
Yeah. Okay. So not haunted?
well, the toilet kept flushing.
Plumbing,
I mean, like
again.
I was 18. I was there with like my best friend. We were like there was like a weird busboy too. It was like a very weird experience in general.
Was the busboy a ghost, do you think?
He could have been. It was like 3 a.m. when we got to the hotel, and he just kind of brought us up to the room, and it was just a little weird.
Really? Wait, you mean like bellhop?
Bellhop?
Why would a busboy be bringing you to the room?
I don't know what the word is.
If the busboy from the restaurant's taking you up to the room, you might. That's not a good sign.
You might be in Texarkana.
Yeah, it's scary. You don't want to deal with that.
I forgot. First hotel we tried to stay in that night didn't exist, and so we drove to.
What? What do you mean didn't exist? Like the hotel itself was a ghost?
Yes.
She's like, we tried to stay in the most haunted hotel in Chicago. We got there, and you couldn't see it because the whole hotel is a ghost. Wait, what do you mean didn't exist?
Well, like we were pretty dumb. We didn't realize that when you're 18, you can't like stay in most hotels because you have to be like at least 21.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Huh.
And we just kind of drove to Chicago for this concert, and so we didn't really have anything prepared.
Right.
And so like she called a hotel in Chinatown and was like, "Can 18-year-olds stay here?" Which is probably the worst way to phrase that.
Don't ask it like that. Walk in and pretend like you're 19.
Yeah.
Well, they need an ID.
Well, but anyway, what do you mean by not exist?
Well, so then we drove to the address.
Yeah.
There's nothing there, and then this is gonna sound so weird. Suddenly, like 50 or so like Chinese men started like emerging from like the ground.
What? What are we talking? What are you talking about?
Like, you know, I'm trying
Were
to...
they ghosts? What do you mean? Like Patrick Swayze in Ghost? Like how they just sort of come up from the pavement?
I got like 3 hours of sleep last night, so I can't remember the word. What is it? Like a sewer. Like they emerged from like the sewer.
Like
I don't
we all float down here?
We like were
Like
parked in the
Ninja
car.
Turtles?
And
What are you talking about?
We parked the car. There was no one there.
Uh-huh.
And then suddenly, I don't want like 50 people just like emerged from a
and started
sewer.
doing what?
Well, they just like were flooding the streets, and I was like, we got to get out of here.
And they all started performing the Thriller dance.
I mean, like what we eventually found out is that it was probably one of those like sex trade traps type of things that like
Oh, jeez.
yeah. So
Like they
we dodged a
lure
bullet
you
with
there.
that.
They
Yeah.
lure you there by saying there's a hotel there, and then when you get there, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I hate this.
Yeah, it was a weird experience.
That's much scarier than the faucet turning on.
Well, and then we found another hotel, you know, and it just we didn't realize it was the most haunted place in Chicago until we got there.
I'm gonna say that it was the second most haunted place because
That
the
is-
other one,
Yeah,
as we've discussed, was a ghost. So
that's very true.
I think this
yeah.
needs to go as part of your fan fiction.
I probably wrote about it later that night in my diary.
And then Joe Jonas came and saved Brooke
Yes.
from the men emerging from the
Oh
sewer.
my gosh. All right. Anybody else? Final thoughts?
Anything
Parting
else?
words?
Anything else?
That's it for the Brett Davern Show.
It's a ghost.
It's haunted. The studio's haunted. Katie did not touch anything. That just happened on...
That's not true.
Nope, it's
No,
not at
it
all.
It's not
happened...
true.
Yes,
a
and
ghost.
Brett.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yes,
Sorry.
and...
Yeah. Yes, and she was touching the keyboard. All right. I stayed in a really bad spot in Needles, California one time. Mm-hmm. I think it's the name of the town, too, you know? Like Needles, California.
Yeah.
Probably not the greatest. Texarkana, you know?
Yeah. What happened at
You
Needles?
can tell before you get to the town. Oh, it's just a really crappy motel. Just, you know, not a good joint. I find that when I'm on a road trip, I tend to just kind of pull over and just be like, this is good enough. And then after I check in and after I put the bags down and I'm standing there, I go, this is probably not the greatest place to be.
Yeah.
You know?
I always find that I feel bad for the housekeepers, so I usually like clean up
Yeah.
before I leave. Like, I throw my trash away. I don't just leave the trash.
No, I leave my trash out because, you know, I also leave some lettuce under the pillow. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because you're rich.
Yeah, that's why I stay in crappy places in Needles, California. All right, that's a wrap, everybody. On another edition of the Brett Davern Show. Thank you for listening live on iAdobe Radio, subscribing on YouTube, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what you heard, just tell a friend.
Tell them.
Say goodbye, Producer Katie.
Bye.
Producer Katie is on Twitter and Instagram at Katie LeClaire. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at BDav. You can follow the show on any social media, including Facebook, at Brett Davern Show. Today's guest, the ghosts, or the Chicago sewer people, can be found.
How about seagulls?
Seagulls
I
and
like them.
dildos and pepperoni can be found nowhere if you're a ghost. Can be found in Chicago if you're one of the sewer people. Can be found by the beach if you're a seagull. Can be found on pizza if you're pepperoni. Or it can be found in pillowcases if you're a dildo.
I'm so uncomfortable with where this show ended up today.
I want you to tell the story that you told during the break on the air.
This is not for real, though.
Katie,
I will tell that story on for real, though.
Katie told a story that is on the same level of my Taylor Swift story during the break.
Which neither will ever be heard on the Brett Davern Show. So they can listen to For Real, though, and they might hear one or the other.
Tune in to iAdobe Radio tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern for Undiscovered Sound. Also, Man of the Hour at 8 p.m. Eastern, and The Guns Show at 9 p.m. Eastern. Once again, for Katie and soon-to-be-named Megan and Matt Adocious and everybody out there texting in their Jonas Brothers emojis, the 225, the 920, the 425, the 602, the 44, the 34, the 920, the 920, the 33, and more and more and more. I'm Brett, and I'm reminding all of you to be kind and take care of each other. That was our show. Good night, Steph in Pico Rivera and Maddie's grandma.
That's it for the Brett Davern Show today. But don't worry, they'll be back tomorrow on iAdobe Radio Live, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.